Hi everyone. So today I come up with another interesting case, which wherein there was a dispute between the New York Times and Perplexity. So this is a very recent judgment, sometime in 2025, and but the battle started way back when New York Times sued OpenAI and Microsoft. So both were tech giants, and this started somewhere back in 2023. So the main sort of grievance that New York Times had was that such tech giants and these kind of especially OpenAI or something like Perplexity, they basically had these kind of search engines. For example, Perplexity had a search engine, a very strong search engine, which basically gathered or grabbed up news from the online websites, that is mainly from New York Times, which is available online, and it just sort of used text pieces as prompts, and whenever a user had a query and they would search for something on the search engine belonging to Perplexity, it would just publish this kind of information which it had grabbed from New York Times post. So this violated the New York Times sort of data, private data, because New York Times already owned this kind of data. It belonged to them, and without their consent, or without taking their permission, or without taking a license from them, it had basically decided to publish this content or spread this or distribute this content among the public, and for a long period of time. So despite them giving warnings or trying to contact Perplexity or OpenAI for the past 18 months, this kind of content, OpenAI or Perplexity never responded back to New York Times, and this has been a continuous practice which has been seen over a long period of time. So now, who is Perplexity exactly? Because we've heard about OpenAI. Now, one of the engineers who are basically a part of this OpenAI, somewhere back in 2022, established this startup called Perplexity. So he was a former employee of OpenAI who was an engineer who in the year 2022 founded Perplexity. And while New York Times or it basically filed a case against OpenAI and Microsoft, later came Perplexity, so doing the same sort of mischief. So now they basically borrowed parts from the New York Times Post, which dealt with even food recipes or the sports page, or articles in the sports page, or even something to do with articles which are related to science and technology, something related to education, etc. So this is complete violation of the privacy, and they have found a very steady platform to do this. So it basically constituted a case of copyright violation or infringement. So this battle has been going on for a long period of time, and it ultimately ended up in a settlement where years down the lane, they even something like Anthropic, a generative AI platform like Anthropic, decided to settle for a $1.5 billion deal, which they were ready to pay to a couple of publishers of these newspapers in return for them to publish content or to use content from those newspapers and publish it on their platform, or to give out information in the form of queries to the public and on their platform. So there was not one paper alone had a problem, such as New York Times. Even Chicago Tribune or the head of Wall Street Journal and several other newspaper publishers such as New York Times, etc., had faced a similar problem, such as what was faced by New York Times. So therefore, all of them came together and filed something like a class action against such kind of tech giants. But what these tech giants claimed was, they not only said use the defense of fair use, because according to them they were educating people and they were answering very promptly to their queries. But at the same time they felt that they had the right to do that because they were just giving easy access to information to the public, which otherwise they would have to read from a newspaper, which even today seems like almost a very tedious task. But what kind of credible and how authentic the news is coming from a generative AI is always doubtful, because sometimes it has been observed that these generative AI platforms like even ChatGPT or even something like Perplexity creates its own content. So a content which is made up by itself and publishes that, or it basically provides that in response to a query by a user of Perplexity. And this is what this practice is basically referred to as hallucination in the language of AI researchers. So this hallucination is something which is completely not allowed, because tomorrow it could also go to the extent of commercializing this through paid promotions. So for example, it can give a lot of publicity in areas where it finds users to be more interested in. So, for example, New York Times in its newspapers finds an area to sort of promote ads, certain advertisements. So it can do the same and it can make money out of this. So now this money is supposed to go to New York Times and it's not supposed to go to Perplexity. But trying to work on commercial gains or trying to drive the whole scene on commercial gains could cause loss to well-reputed journals like New York Times, etc. So there was a meeting that was basically held between the Times between New York Times journalists or the head and with the team of OpenAI or Perplexity, where they eventually had a discussion and they had to come to terms and settle somewhere, because they had to first of all contribute for the loss that the news publishing company had incurred, and they had to also compensate for the loss of reputation that New York Times or any other news publishers had, because the content or the credibility of the content that New York Times or any other sort of newspapers publish is basically been spoiled completely. There is a certain community, there are certain regular readers, or there is a certain community of people who basically read articles and gather news from these particular newspapers, and they don't go to Perplexity or ChatGPT for everything, because the authenticity of the news is highly questionable. But with the development of technology and with the changing times, people have started sort of relying on these kind of search engines to get easy access to information. But how far is it true, or how credible the content is, or how the young generation is going to get information from these sources and are going to rely on this? For example, fake judgments are sometimes cited by these kind of sources like Perplexity or ChatGPT and other things, other tools. AI generated tools is a huge question mark, and tomorrow we are going to rely on this information to build our knowledge and to shape our minds. So young professionals or even lawyers or someone who is into general knowledge and into public affairs or whatever it might be, in whichever field you are, if you are going to acclimatize yourself with what is happening around you and your only source of knowledge is ChatGPT, if you start citing your sources, your research, if you want to publish a research article, or if you want to cite your sources that you rely on, and you cite something from ChatGPT, is that going to be accepted by research professionals at universities? So this is going to be a good question mark wherever you go, in whichever country you go and do your research. So for this very reason, I would take a stance that it is better for us to read the news from newspapers, which is actually a credible source, as opposed to acquiring news from sources or search engines which are set up by Perplexity or I don't know, OpenAI's product like ChatGPT or similar kind of platforms. So let me know what your views on this are, because I'll be very eager to know that. And since I want to hear more from the young generation, I want you all to participate more in these kind of conversations, because you are responsible for, the future tomorrow. So what lies ahead of you? So I really want your views on this. As a millennial, I am just throwing my view out here, but I would be very interested in knowing what you think about what are your views on a generative AI platform, as opposed to really picking up the newspaper or books and credible sources and gathering information from there. So thank you for patiently listening to me, and I would like to view your responses in the comments. Thank you.